I think there's a good chance that ChatGPT thinks I'm an idiot.
But I'm not an idiot. I'm actually decently smart. I have 8 years of post-secondary education where I got a Bachelor of Commerce honors degree and I became a certified professional accountant. And then I decided to have a Homer Simpson burn my degree moment. And my husband and I opened up our own business. We went and opened up an equestrian training facility. And if you ever want to know how to burn money, go ahead and open up an equestrian facility. You know what? If a cost is less than $2,000, it doesn't even hit my radar. That's how much running a equestrian facility costs. Like costs start in the thousands. They don't start in the hundreds. So anyway, at 46 years old, I finally had this incredible experience that helped me decide what I want to be when I grow up. And it really is a sobering experience to have. I'm going to tell you about it. What I did was I filmed myself for 30 days. And while I was editing these videos or watching them back, I had 5 main realizations about myself and about my family and the situation. And I realized that probably only 20% of what I do in a day is chasing down my dream. The other 80% of everything that I do in a day, other than family, is filler or make work stuff. And at the end of the year, let's say I did that for 30 days, which is what I did. That means that by the end of the year, I'm not going to hit my goal. It means that I'm doing too much of other things that I should pay other people to be doing so that I can hit my goals, so that I can hit what I want to become, rather than occupy my day with busy work. So my first realization that I had was my vibe sucks. And how I came to realize this was we were uploading these videos pretty much in real time. And right up until our cat had this major accident. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch Why There's No Day 15. I'm not going to tell you about it right now. It was too traumatic. I don't even want to talk about it. But she lived, so we're good. She's still a little bit off, but she lived. Anyway, Justin was talking to his dad on the weekend, who lives out of town. And so he watches our videos to find out what's going on in our lives, which is why we vlog. He said to Justin, "You guys look tired." And we were like, yeah, no kidding. We're bone tired. We had waters explode in the middle of winter.
Yep, there's pieces in there that I'll need later, but they can stay there.
So what are you doing? You're just trying to get it so it doesn't freeze overnight.
Just to get the heat back in.
So we don't necessarily have to put the whole thing back together again. We just have to make sure it doesn't freeze the line.
Yes.
We have horses that, if they colic in the middle of the night, we're out there walking them. Or, we have fencing. We're laying in bed and we'll look outside and we'll see that fence doesn't look right. So, at 9 o'clock at night, Justin will get up and go and fix fences. There's a reason why farmers are tired. But anyway, I need to fix what I do in a day so that I can chase down my goal faster. So that was realization number 1. Number 2 is, actually, first, I think I very much skipped a step. I should tell you where I am right now. I'm at the University of Manitoba, and the reason why I'm here is because my son applied to be in the honor jazz band, and he got in. So they're rehearsing today, tomorrow, and then the concert is, sorry, I said that wrong. They're rehearsing yesterday and today, and then the concert is tomorrow. So crazy proud of that kid. But after I dropped him off, I thought, you know what? I should take a walk around university because I think there's just this huge accomplishment in my life that I completely forget to acknowledge. And that's that I did go to school. Like, I did educate myself. I might have burnt the degree to the ground and like threw it out the window. but I did spend 6 years of my life getting this huge accomplishment done. And you just forget your own accomplishments. Like, I remember at the time when I was here, I was like, oh, I can't wait till this is done. I'm so excited for this to be done. And then I got it done and then largely forgot about it, which is just such a travesty. And I know I'm not the only one to do that, to like, you know, get a huge goal accomplished and then move on to the next goal, but kind of forget about the ones that you've already accomplished. So anyway, I'm going to tell you about the other things that I learned right this second, but I thought I'd insert B-roll of walking around the university and footage from the last 30 days, so you're not just watching a talking head video.
This is a very old university with historic buildings, and they have a labyrinth of underground tunnels. And I'm not sure if I remember my way around, but I mean, the tunnels are necessary here because in the winter it gets to -30, -35, and sometimes with wind chill -40s. So even if it takes you longer, you take the tunnels. And I seem to remember in my first year getting lost here, but like everything, there's so many little touches that reminds you that you're in a historic building. Here, let me show you. Like, isn't that beautiful? Who wouldn't want to go to school here? It's just gorgeous. So some of the buildings are newer, and a lot of them are like this. Looks like you're going to school in a castle. I had statistics in this building. But my teacher, I think English possibly was his 5th language, and I couldn't understand a word he said. I think I actually had to drop the class and take it again. That's not something I thought I'd see today. I'm not even sure if I'd recognize myself going here. It was 23 years ago. That was a lifetime ago. Kind of made me realize how many lifetimes I've lived in this one life. You know, the education side of myself, the equestrian side of myself, the business owner, the person who worked in oil and gas, the person who worked in land development. All of that happened. Oh, and I'm a mom of 2 wonderful kids. One who's 18 right now, and he's going to attend this university next year, or this year in the fall. And then my 16-year-old who's here rehearsing. It's amazing how much you can fit into one lifetime. It's crazy.
I learned a long time ago that you should study your own language patterns. And the reason why is because it's going to identify who you are as a person. So if you're a complainer, that's going to come out in your language. If you are a positive person, if you're a negative person, if you're somewhere in between, all of that is going to come out in the way that you speak. So there's actually a mathematical way of identifying the way that you speak, and it's called creating a word cloud. What you do is you take a transcript of whatever you're saying, and if you make a YouTube video, it's actually super easy to do because YouTube, you can download transcripts from your videos,
And then what you do is you count the number of times you use that word. I created a word cloud off of every video for the last 30 days and identified which words I use most. It said that I use the word good triple the amount of times that I used any other words. Okay, I do know that every single time I started a video, I would often start it with good morning. But that's only 30 times. And then I would say, okay, so good boy, because I often ride good, like horses that are male. So, like a gelding, stallion, doesn't matter. I said boy 121 times. So I probably would say good boy on camera while I was riding him. So that is a lot of positive reinforcement for my horse. To say the word exhaustion, it doesn't even commute. Like it's not even exhaustion. It was a next level exhaustion. And if you've ever watched the video Clarkson puts out, like Clarkson Farms, when he talks about farmers working their tails off, that's what we were doing. And we were so tired. But if you look at my language patterns, I was able to stay positive. That's huge. That is such a huge accomplishment for anybody to be, and that's trained. That's not natural. I 100% know when I'm being negative and I just stop. I'm like, that's not how you want to live today. That's not how you want to live this month. Like, that's not how you want to live this year. I would cut myself off in the past if I was being negative, and I would think about a different way to think about that situation in a more positive way. That is 100% trained in. That is not a natural response I had. I remember when I was 16 and somebody who I worked for, who I cared about very deeply, pointed out to me, she said, "You're a complainer." And that one thing she said to me, I think I was maybe 16 at a time, changed my life because I didn't want to be known as a complainer. And so I made a decision right at that point, because somebody influential to me when I was younger had the guts to tell me, "You complain all the time." And that's not who I want to be. So I created the muscle memory of being positive. And I did try to be positive every day of my life, on and off screen. By the way, I'm the same person on screen that I'm off screen, and I will for sure tell you about all my faults online, on camera. It doesn't bother me. Like, I am that open. My husband actually calls me Captain Overshare. And when I'm riding, there's very little that I cut out. Like if you're watching my vlogs and I cut some stuff out, I cut it out because one is boring, or two, I'm talking to somebody about personal events. But I leave in the crappiness of that ride so that in the future when I go back and be like, "Oh, remember when my horse used to do that?" I leave it in there so that I can see the transition from bad to good.
I did not prep a young horse properly to be. I didn't set him up for success at all. I pushed the limit a little bit and just see what I can get away with, but it didn't really work.
It's okay. You tried something.
And in horses, that transition happens so slowly, and it makes you crazy because you just don't see it. But eventually you will see it, and I can look back, 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, and be like, do you remember when Hammy couldn't canter? Do you remember when he would back up like a stallion? Because he's doing it less and less now. It came back in a little bit in the spring because the stallion stuff, in the spring, sometimes does come back, even though he's gelded now. But I'll look back at this because I plan on owning Hammy for the long run. I and be like, do you remember when he was such a bugger and like he couldn't handle grass moving in the wind?
You're just going too slow, buddy. Okay, can you put a small X up on the second one? Because I want him to travel forward, but I don't want it to be like a slow down and stop. It's not that he's hesitating. He's not necessarily hesitating in the air. It's just he lands and like doesn't go forward.
Yeah.
And I might, you know what? For safety until he gets it, this has got to come in a little bit, I think.
Come in?
Yeah, because otherwise he'll tumble over it. So just like a foot that way.
Like that way.
Yeah, because he's not jumping and going forward. Yeah, there we go. Once he gets it, we'll kick it back out. What do you think of the reggae music?
I love it. That was my Sunday big car music,
Absolutely.
among other things.
Your Sunday morning craze?
No, I didn't have Sunday morning crazies until I moved here with you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's something you do just for me? That's kind of fun.
I'm a product of my environment.
Yeah. There we go. Land and go forward. Good boy. That's better. Good boy.
That's why I keep that stuff in there. And plus, like, I am the same person on camera and off camera. Like, I will tell you what's going wrong in my life. I'll also tell you like the amazing things that are going well in my life, but I definitely don't sugarcoat who I am online. And I'm actually really proud of myself for that, because one, I've embraced that making a mistake is wonderful. And because of that, I'm definitely not ashamed of who I am right at this moment, because I always know that I'm transitioning to something better. But I think it's actually just a superpower to admit when you were wrong. Like, I know a lot of people who struggle with admitting when they're wrong because they feel like they're gonna get mentally hurt, physically hurt, emotionally hurt. Whereas for myself, I've embraced when I'm wrong. I'll be like, oh, whoops, I'm wrong. And that's it. Like, I emotionally move on, mentally move on. That is a superpower that I also train myself. And I did learn that actually at a conference in Vegas from, I hope I pronounce his name, David Asprey, the guy who wrote Bulletproof Diet. He happened to be presenting. And I'm gonna tell you this story just because I think about it all the time. He said, I had asked my son, he was putting his son to bed, and he's like, tell me 3 good things that happened in your day. And the son would tell him 3 good things. And he's like, hey, tell me 3 mistakes you made in the day. And his son replied, oh, I didn't have any mistakes today. And, you know, the dad, David, would say, oh, that's too bad. Hopefully you have a better day tomorrow. And the son would be confused of like, wait, why? Like, I had a great day. I didn't make any mistakes. And then dad would say again, oh, that's really too bad. I hope you have a better day tomorrow. And it really hammered home to his son at a young age of mistakes are so wonderful. There's not a single guru in the world who got to where they are without experimenting with different muscle memories, experimenting with, you know, different ways of doing things to find the best way that works for them. And if you can learn that mistakes are a good thing, and you can learn that, like, why hide them? They're a good thing. One of my idols is Sarah Blakely, and she's the CEO of Spanx. And she is a self-made billionaire. Like, she started off by selling Xerox machines. And can you just imagine how many times she had to hear the word no? Like, I can't even imagine how many times somebody said to her, no, I will not buy this Xerox machine. And so when I say I don't know how to sell, it's that I don't have that muscle memory of hearing the word no over and over and over again and still be able to push a product that I know is good. I created this product of, it's like how to make your equestrian video better. And the product is so great. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've watched a video of what it looks like somebody is filming in the dark in their equestrian arena. The babies just got their feet done. Oh, waffles. Girls, make good choices. Yeah, the babies just got their feet done, so they're coming in here for a minute because we need their stalls. Oh, waffles, you are such a cute little mover. Maisie, please don't run them over. She just points her toes everywhere she goes. Girls, girls! Okay, maybe we'll take down a couple of those poles so they don't make really bad choices. Horse videos in general, like if you just use a regular camera, like a Samsung, your phone, it doesn't really matter. Like iPhone in particular, the videos look really dark. And if you're trying to sell a horse, that's not gonna make the horse look all that great. And so I developed a product called LUTs, and they're lookup tables. And it really allows you to take your current footage and upgrade it by making it brighter or making the walls look whiter. Anywhere that makes the background look incredible and your horse stands out more. And so like, I know that this is an incredible product because I've watched more than enough horse videos on the internet, like whether I'm just watching somebody ride their horse or a sales video of a horse or whatever. But here's the thing, like I have this amazing product, I believe in this product, but I don't have the muscle memory of hearing the word no. And so I put it in a couple videos, didn't get necessarily any kind of response, and was like, oh, it's not working. Versus going, okay, so how many people did actually see the product? How many people actually watched the video that the product was displayed in and showing the benefits? If you look at like a funnel, let's say it was like 1,000 people. Let's say at the max it was 2,000 people. Well, a funnel funnels people in. So 2,000 people, if you take 1%, 2%, 3% of the people that watch it and go and like learn about the product. That's the other thing, is I don't necessarily have an amazing video showing how easy it is to use. So I'm not necessarily even making the product look good yet. But what I learned from filming myself for 30 days is, one, I'm too tired to sell. That's a real thing. This month was literally heck. It was so busy that I like to add to my plate is just a no-go. I don't have time to sell, and I don't have the muscle memory of hearing no. That's the reason why I don't have the ability to sell right now. I have the knowledge because I have a general interest in it. I study it like a ninja. I watch YouTube videos of how to sell in the most organic way over and over and over. And I've learned from so many different people of how to do this. And just recently, I think I've absorbed how to sell. I want to even say in the last 30 days. I haven't applied that knowledge yet, but I've learned it in the last 30 days. So like when I was off camera, I'm a person who wakes up at 5 a.m. I love waking up very, very early. And in that time when I wake up, I'm the most alert that I can possibly be in the day. And so by choice, not by having to do it, I watch videos of how to do things. I watch videos on marketing, I watch videos on horses, I watch videos just in general of learning how to advance myself, because that's something that I'm just generally interested in. My long-term plan is I have realized how much I love being a YouTuber. I'm going to focus on becoming a better creator. That's what I'm going to spend my days on. Is I love that creating videos for YouTube or podcasts or whatever format I want to go with activates both sides of my brain, the athlete side of my brain, as well as the intellectual side of my brain, and it marries those two things together. Having the ability to make better videos because I'm not exhausted, that's a real thing, and having less horses. So the horses I want to keep is Tui, Hammy, Waffles, Annie, and if possible, Brownie. But long term, I don't plan on owning any other horses. And I said this to Justin, like, yes, we have Hammy Seaman, but maybe I'd only want one more foal off of Hammy, off of a really, really nice mare. But out of my career as a rider, I'm so content with those horses that I don't feel like buying and selling is something that I necessarily want to do. Keep the ones that we want to keep. Okay, so that's the other thing. We have some horses that have been lesson horses with us that are just going to retire with us. Like, we love them, they're family. Sparky and Henry owe us nothing. They are going to be with us till the end. Like, they're just family. Like, I don't even consider them in when I'm like planning out business decisions. They're just here. They're family. So that's the horses that we want to keep. Oh, there's one other horse. Oswald. We're getting turnout. By the way, that blanket that Oz is wearing, that absolute goofball, Hammy wore that all winter, not a scratch on it. Oz wore it for 4 days. Now it looks like he went to war. Right? It's like, could you not break everything that we own? He destroyed Hammy's halter. He brought it into his stall and ate it. Ozzy is not my horse. He is Jaden's horse. He is Jaden's pet. And so that horse is the most complicated bugger ever. He is either so chill, so level-headed, and you're like, great, we could use you as a lesson horse. Or he's an absolute lunatic. Our priority right now is becoming better YouTube creators, enjoying life, doing less in a day.
Carter John has been awarded an entrance scholarship from the University of Manitoba valued at $1,000.